Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new writing vlog. If you are not caught up with the writing vlogs I've already posted this year, I'll make sure to link down below the playlist for them so you can kind of catch yourself up. But I'm currently doing revisions on my YA contemporary romance novel, What You Mean to Me. I'm working on draft 3. Draft 3.5. I don't really know what I'm considering this, and we are actually nearing the end. I can't even believe it. I just pulled up the document before starting this clip and I did the calculations to figure out how many pages were left, and we have 47 pages left. 47 pages left. I thought I had more than that, but I guess not. So 47 pages. I still have a few things on my to-do list that I feel like I have not addressed. The sticky note one, I have just completely not thought of. It was like an as I read, look out for this thing, and then I did not look out for that thing. I want to do a reread of the book when I finish going through and doing the revisions anyway, before I send it off to beta readers, just to make sure it's cohesive, just so I know what it looks like before I send it out. I am dreading doing another read of this book because I feel like I've just read it so much recently and I'm in that that space where I just need some time from it and I don't want to look at it anymore. So I'm not looking forward to that, but hopefully I can try to address this little sticky note at some point. But the most important thing for this round of revision, this pass of revisions, was to add in some narrative flashback moments, which I have been doing, and I don't necessarily anticipate any more needing to be added in since we are so close to the end of the book. Like off the top of my head, I just don't think that there are any more moments that I can add that in, so I might just have to check that one off soon. I'm sure that there are more moments throughout that I could add a narrative flashback for, and there have been some moments where I'm like, could I put one here? I don't know, should I? And ultimately decided not to. So I do think when I send it out to beta readers, I will ask them, let me know if you think there's a good amount of narrative flashbacks, let me know if there's any moments that you want to see in a flashback, and if you have an idea of where it should go, and just kind of ask for them to look out for that as they're reading to kind of help me out with that, because I do feel like a lot of it's I just don't want to do it, and so I convince myself that it doesn't need to be there, but maybe it does. I don't know. So I will be asking for help with that when I get some more beta readers. There was something with the friends that I wanted to add in, and I feel like I might have added it in once or twice, so I might be able to check that one off. And then the last thing on here is just to delete or replace filler and crutch words, crutch phrases, which I have a little running list of on the back here, which I'm gonna go through afterwards. I'm gonna do a find and replace kind of situation. So the goal for today maybe is to finish going through the revisions here, finish the last 47 pages. I am getting a bit of a late start to my day, quite a late start to my day actually. It was just a slow morning, but I think I could potentially get to the end of the book today, especially if there are no narrative flashback moments that I'll be adding in. I was actually getting kind of worried because we're in the last week of the month, and so I needed to finish it this week so I could, go through and do the delete and replace filler words and then prepare to send off to beta readers. So I'm actually feeling good about this right now, actually. I think that I can do that. So the goal for the week, I guess, is to finish the revisions entirely, send it off to beta readers. I also would like to brainstorm a PEI book a little bit more since I officially added that on to my goals for this month. I have brainstormed it a little bit, not recently, but what I feel like I need to do with this book is have a brainstorm session with somebody else, and just nobody is available to do that with me right now. But I do feel like I just need to bounce ideas off of somebody, so we'll see if I get any more done of this month. Last week of the month, we're finishing these revisions. I am so excited. So I just finished draft 3.5 of What You Mean to Me for the most part. I still needed to read through it one time and maybe try to implement a couple of things that I missed, but I got to the end and then I went through and I filtered out some words. Did I do a great job? Not necessarily, but some words are just really hard to replace, so I did my best. Okay, I did my best, but there's always room for improvement, but I'm not too concerned about it right now. But I got to the end of this draft, so I'm going to, at some point, I think I might take a day or two to give myself a little bit of space between myself and the project, and I'll try to figure out who is available to a beta read for me next month. So yeah, I think my main writing focus for the rest of the week maybe will be to work on a PEI book and trying to do some brainstorming for that, which is exciting. Yeah, I'm so happy I finished draft 3.5. One step closer to being done. My goodness. It's now April 3rd. I looked back at what the last clip was, and it was when I finished the revisions of What You Mean to Me, and it was my intention to keep vlogging, and then I didn't. But essentially, I took a couple of days off, I believe, and then I went back and did a reread of the book just for like continuity, making sure that I knew what the draft looked like before I sent it off to beta readers. And what I actually did for the first time with this book was I had Word read the book aloud to me. There's a read aloud function on Word where they have very robotic sounding voices read out your book to you, and I've done that for past projects, but I hadn't done it for this one yet. And my friend Livy Hart reminded me of this because I was kind of talking to her about how I desperately did not want to reread the book again, and she's like, why don't you just like have it read it out loud to you? And I was like, that's a great idea, I forgot about that. So that's what I did, and it was so weird. I don't know why, but even though it sounds so robotic and sounds nothing like an audiobook or anything, it always makes me so emotional to hear it read out to me in that way. Probably just because it's a different way of taking the story in. It's a different way than I've heard it previously, because previously it's always just me reading it in my head, and so you get very used to how it sounds in your head, and it starts to like not feel like a book, at least in my head. Like I'm like, this is not a real book, this is just something that I've created and it's weird. But when I hear it read out loud to me like that, it starts to feel like a real book. It starts to sound like a real book, and so it was really cool to hear it read aloud. And this is the first book that I've done it for where I have a dual POV, and so while it was a little annoying, every chapter I switched between the two narrators, so I would correspond it with the Maisie or Christopher chapter, and so that was cool too, to make them sound different. It just made it feel kind of more real, so I really enjoyed that experience, and I do really love this book. I'm still not in like a full place of pride with it yet. I think I've just been in it for a little bit too long at this point. So regardless, I did the read through. It was a cool experience to have it read aloud to me, and then I like officially asked my friends who was available to read it, and a few reached out and said they could read it for me. I had one more reach out today because she missed the messages before, so a few people, I think four people have the book and they are reading it. I think 2 have started so far, and it's so weird that other people are reading this book besides me and my friend Kaylee, who read the second draft. So there are so many elements in this draft that were not there when Kaylee read it, thanks to her wonderful notes and suggestions she gave me. So it's really cool that like one of the people who is reading it like commented on a couple of specific lines that were not in the previous draft that Kaylee read, and they were suggestions of Kaylee's to put in, and she's enjoying them. So that makes me really like, it makes me feel good that the changes that I've made to this book are being like received well, I guess. Even if they aren't aware that it wasn't in the previous draft, like I know that it wasn't, and so it's really like reassuring in a way. So I've been incredibly anxious. I've only sent the book out to them a couple of days ago, but I've been incredibly anxious this entire time, knowing that like more than one person is reading the book, and I hope that they love it. I'm nervous, but it's been really nice to read their little comments. So besides that, I've been brainstorming PEI book. This is my journal for it. I don't know if I've talked about it in this vlog yet because it's been all over the place, but I have been working on this a little bit. I think I've written some notes in this journal, trying to figure some things out. I've been delving into Save the Cat Writes a Young Adult Novel, which I really recommend. Like, if you guys like Save the Cat Writes a Novel and it's beneficial to you and you write young adult, then I really recommend checking out this copy as well. Either, you know, you just kind of like look at it in the bookstore, or you get it from the library, or you actually like buy a copy of it. It's just so beneficial. It really delves deeper into more examples, and again, if you're specifically writing young adult, which is what this book is for, it has all young adult examples instead of in Save the Cat, the regular one. It pulls examples from all different kinds of age categories, and it's actually really nice to like pool the two copies together because they do have different examples. Anyways, this is not like an ad for this book. I just really love it. But also Jessica Brody goes into more detail on some things, answers some questions that she got after publishing the first Save the Cat. So there's things on series in here there's things on the different kinds of catalysts, so modifying it to work for you. And I find that this book is just better organized than the first one. I like the way that it breaks things down, so I can definitely see myself reaching for this copy of Save the Cat more than the first one, even though I still love the first one a whole lot. I also just mainly write YAs, so this one is obviously going to be a bit more beneficial to me. So anyways, if you've not checked out this book, I highly recommend it. It came out last year. But yeah, I've been flipping through this a lot. I really did not mean to just go on like a huge tangent there about that book, but I just really love it. I also finally created a little folder for this book. This is where I just keep like bigger brainstorming things and character profiles, because this notebook in particular has like decorative pages, so there's less room to write in general. So I don't think I'm gonna put the character profiles in here like I normally do. Normally I write them on loose leaf paper first, just to kind of like get my ideas out, and then I'll transfer them into here. I don't think I'm gonna do that for this book just because of the way these pages are. I think I would rather just put everything else into this, but I guess we'll see how I feel later on. So I did start the character profiles just a little bit. I started my main character Addie's. I also did the Save the Cat story-worthy hero, so figuring out her problem, want, and a need. I'm still kind of fuzzy on her want. I feel like I don't have a super like solid clear idea of what her want is yet, so I need to figure that out. But I also started doing the Save the Cat exercise for is my hero story-worthy, so I do need to continue doing this because I only have the first couple answered, but I only started her profile. I still need to do the other characters. I also don't even fully know all the characters. Like I know Addie and her family because that plays a big role. I know Theo, who is the love interest, and I know that his mom is best friends with Addie's mom, so I need to figure her out. I know that I want there to be at least one friend that Addie and Theo will share. But I also did the Save the Cat genre brainstorming, because originally I thought this book was going to be a rites of passage book, but things just weren't clicking. I couldn't come up with a catalyst, nothing was feeling right, and so then I kind of toyed with the idea of making it a buddy love story instead. And really the main purpose that figuring out your story genre from Save the Cat does is just helping you figure out the catalyst, because the catalyst in a buddy love story is typically the entrance of the buddy love character, so the love interest. And so I don't know, it just felt right. I was pretty easily able to come up with the different things that I couldn't figure out when it was going to be a rites of passage book, so this just feels better. And then I started doing some brainstorming on the Save the Cat beats and just trying to fill in what I knew. I have Act 1 almost all completely figured out, just in like very basic like sentence summary kind of vibes, not like every individual scene or anything, just generally what's going to be happening in the beats. And then once I have it figured out, I will take this and probably put it in my computer and flesh it out a little bit. And that's kind of all that I've done recently. I am feeling a bit stuck with it. I don't know, maybe I'm burnt out or something, which I hate admitting. I hate feeling burnt out, and I feel like I will deny it to myself as long as possible. But I'm thinking that I might be a little burnt out because I'm having a hard time feeling creative. And I think I mentioned this potentially in a previous vlog, where I'm just having a hard time being creative for myself and for my own projects, because I did do that brainstorming session maybe in the last vlog with Peyton, helping her with her book, and the ideas were flowing and I was able to help her come up with ideas and help her work on her book. And she was like, it's crazy that like you don't feel creative because you helped me so much. And I'm like, I think it's a specific like me problem. Like I can't be creative for my own projects, and I think that's kind of where the problem is at the moment. So I don't know, so I don't exactly know what I want to work on today. I might try to work on the character profiles a little bit more, maybe start Theo's a little bit so I can figure him out, and then maybe I'll flip through the outline brainstorming. I don't really know, we're just gonna see where the day takes us. I'm not planning on working too hard today. I think this will be a month that is a little bit of like a recharge month for me. I don't have a whole lot on my plate writing wise, since my friends do have What You Mean to Me to beta read. I'm just trying to take it a bit chill this month, focus more on YouTube. I might go back up to 2 videos a week. Every now and then I've been uploading like a bonus video, but I think I might go back to 2 videos a week. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of videos that I want to make, and I just want to be like ultra consistent, you know? I don't know, this has been a very long clip, so I'm gonna leave you and try to get some work done. So it's now April 5th. I'm here to end out this vlog. I've been trying to brainstorm PEI book. The last couple of days I've been really focused on like YouTube stuff though, so I haven't done as much work as I've been wanting to, but I am struggling with this book, and I find lots of parts of the writing process to be very difficult. Most parts to me are very difficult, but right now I'm particularly finding the beginning parts of books hard. Getting enough stuff to make it a book, if that makes any sense. And like I've mentioned a million times, I'm just having a really hard time using my brain and being creative, and so I'm trying really hard to figure out my main character and figure out her wants, and I'm having a really hard time with it. So instead of just sitting here agonizing over it, I'm just going to go refill my creative well a little bit and just take some time. So that brings us to the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know what you've been up to writing wise recently. I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!